Hey, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Freestyle Friday sessions. My name is Sean. For those of you who don't know, we've been doing these Freestyle Friday sessions where I just get to hopefully speak some value into your life, as well as just some things that I've learned along mine, and we can just talk it out. I've mentioned things about debt. I like to stick to generally five, or what I like to consider five pillars of my life. I talk some things about finances. I talk about spirituality, physical or physicality, your emotional state of mind, your mental state of mind, as well as social connections and how to manage your social network to reach out to others and just love. And that's what I like to do. So hopefully this content provides some value again to you. If you like it, please like, share, and comment. If you do not, give me a thumbs down and let me know how I can improve, whether it's the visual and audios or just my content in general if you think it stinks. But if you like it, please subscribe and hit that little bell button up at the top so every time I drop a video on Friday, you get the latest content provided. Nonetheless, today's topic is going to be about lowering that stress, right? Lowering your cortisol levels. When you increase stress, you're increasing your cortisol level, but maintaining a healthy stress. Okay, with that, we're going to talk about being mindful versus having your mind full, and then being present in the moment and taking those opportunities of being, grateful and gratitude towards you, yourself, your family, your loved ones, your spouse, whatever that might be, your coworkers, your employees, just being in that moment and being present, okay? So without further ado, let me get started. I love using analogies, as if you know. If you don't know, I love using analogies. And this one is about managing your stress appropriately, okay? I was working out this past week and I was doing some bicep curls. You see those guns? You like them? Okay, I see you. Looking good. But nonetheless, doing some curls. And on this set, I decided to squeeze the dumbbells as hard as I could. Okay, I'm squeezing these bad boys as hard as I can while still performing my bicep curl. I learned a few things within that. One, I was unable to accomplish the same amount of repetitions that I was able to do last set. Okay? Two, the reason being is because my forearms burnt out super fast. Another muscle in my body burnt out faster than my biceps. And then a few other things just kind of came into play with that. I was like, man, don't we do this to ourselves? Right? Like, my muscle is already under stress, right? I'm already doing my bicep curl. I'm already putting my mind and my physical body under stress with holding that weight. But then I add more stress, right? My mind goes elsewhere and I think other things. You could think, hey, that's smart though. You're working out. Why wouldn't you want to exert another muscle category? But if you recall, I was talking about specifically doing a bicep curl. If I wanted to isolate a forearm, I might do a forearm roll or some other forearm workout. But what I learned from this lesson is that individuals, me personally, and I would imagine you and others that you've had in your life can attest to this, tend to add more stress needed for a given situation, right? I do this when I log in for school. I look at my syllabus and I read the entire syllabus and I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to handle this? It's so much. But then I start doing the class and it's 1 week at a time. And within that week, it's 1 day at a time. It's a forum. I'm going to online class right now. It's a forum, it's replies, it's maybe a paper, maybe a quiz, maybe a test, maybe some articles I need to read. But when I strip it all down and it's given to me in a day-to-day process and over that week, then it doesn't look so daunting, right? So I do that to myself, and I'm sure others can attest to doing that to themselves. But that's what I'm talking about. I was adding more stress than I needed to. And it's talking about taking a step back, identifying the task at hand, right? The task at hand was that bicep curl. Making sure I do it effectively and efficiently as possible with the best form and technique, as well as isolating that muscle group so I can get them gains in, all right? But if I add extra stress such as squeezing onto that thing, right? And that's often what we do. We squeeze on, we hold on to things in our life, and we tend to not let it just flow the way life might present it and come and go, right? If I just do my regular bicep curls, I'd be able to knock out more repetitions, have a better overall workout identified to my isolation of my bicep, and still be fine with that. And then I could identify another particular category, and that's more or less that story that I'm trying to wrap that up in, is being present, being in that moment, identifying, taking a step back, understanding what is the task at hand, and executing that task efficiently and effectively as possible that you can. And that's it. Don't add extra stress. Don't think, don't add, don't do extra things that will make it more stressful. Okay? It's managing that stress balance. All right? So hopefully that analogy was a little bit helpful. Another one that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is being present in the moment, which kind of is piggybacking off of this. Okay? So my wife and I, we've been really dissecting our finances. We've been reading this book. It's Smart Couples Finish Rich. It's an older book, but nonetheless, it has some good content. If you want, go check it out. I would recommend you reading it with your spouse or your significant other. That's the purpose and the startup of this book is Smart Couples Finish Rich. You read it with your spouse. So we've been doing that, and it really is pushing us to our financial stressors, right? It's adding some things. We gotta get like 12 folders. We gotta subfolders and categories of all our taxes, of all our investments, and we're just really dissecting everything down to a minute issue, okay? And my mind's been going crazy with that. My mind's been going crazy with work right now. I've been kind of overloading my plate with some things. I've been volunteering here and there, whatever it might be. My wife spends the day making a beautiful dish. It was like nice spaghetti pasta with meatballs and marinara sauce and some fresh grated mozzarella on top. She doesn't like Parmesan, I know, right? But I'll take mozzarella anyways. That's fine. And then some garlic bread as well, right? So we're eating, and I'm not even breathing, right? I'm huffing this food down. I'm not even chewing my food. I'm just woofing this bad boy up, and my mind, I'm being mindless, right? Because my mind is so full in other things. I'm thinking about taxes. I'm thinking about my folders, my work, what I need to do tomorrow, what I should have done today, what I'm gonna do next week. I'm not present in the moment. I'm not even hearing my kids, right? I'm like tuning them out. The TV's playing some sort of Netflix show that we're watching with our kids right now, but I'm not even listening and paying attention. I'm legit just huffing down food, but my mind is elsewhere. I didn't take the time in the moment to even appreciate the meal that she gave me, right? I didn't even get time to taste it. I'm just whipping this bad boy down. It was good, but at the end, it's because my mind was so focused on other things. And oftentimes, that's what we do. We're not in the moment when we need to be in the moment. We are thinking outside the box, where our mind is full of other things instead of being mindful and understanding what we need to focus on, right? So some of those things, we need to be open and flexible and understand that, okay, right now I got a plate in front of me. Let me focus on dinner. Let me focus on quality time with my wife and my kids. Let me focus on watching this show and maybe getting a little laugh out of me because it was a comedy. Let me focus and have a clear understanding of the moment that I'm in. Because I wasn't at work. Why am I thinking about work? I wasn't at a tax firm, so why am I thinking about my taxes? And you could take this for what it is and say, well, you're thinking about all things. I'm trying to multitask. Well, what happens when I'm multitask, I'm pretty much a walking zombie. My brain is dead thinking about other things, or maybe it's your phone. I'm sure people can attest to this, that, your wife or your spouse is talking to you, and you're like, yep, okay, yeah. 10 minutes later, you're like, what was that? You said that? I can recall certain conversations that my wife was like, I told you this yesterday. I was like, I don't recall that. It's probably because I was distracted mentally, right? Overloading my plate. There's only so much you can process in and out. So take a step back, try to identify those moments and those times that you're in, and stay within those moments and times until that time lapses, until that small little chapter or page finishes. Sometimes seasons are longer than others, right? Or sometimes pages are longer than others, but stay within that story mode, right? If it transitions to your family having dinner, focus on that paragraph of you having dinner. Don't be thinking about what happened in the last page or what you need to do in the next page. That will come. Worry about today, worry about that moment, being present in the moment, and that will help your stress levels go down. I guarantee it. If you focus on the priorities at hand and being present in the moment and identifying certain tips and tricks that work for you, because what works for me might not be the same, identify those things quickly and start practicing those as fast as possible, because that will help you identify issues down your life, lower your cortisol levels. And if you don't know, cortisol levels increase or stress increases your cortisol levels, which can distract you from your work. You can have multitasking issues. You can have lack of solutions and being fear or judgment, or all of this stressful situation can raise your cortisol levels, which will tend to, in men and sometimes in women, carry a little bit of extra weight around their waist and or their thighs and buttocks area. So a health condition along with that comes that, right? So you don't want to have, not to mention the heart, right? Raising your levels of your stress can affect your heart conditions and heart situations. So just guys, I'm just trying to speak that value to you and make sure, hey, let's lower those cortisol levels. Let's lower that stress in your daily life. Let's focus on the present task at hand. Yes, we deal with stress every day, but let's focus on that stress the best way, efficiently and effectively as possible. And hopefully this was some added value. Just try to identify those within your own life. If you want to reach back to me and just talk to me about some of the stressors that you might be dealing with and how we might be able to overcome some of those things, please let me know. Drop a comment down below. If you want, I can give you my email contact and we can just reach out back and forth. Again, to me, this is a growing mentor, life coach, mentee program. I would love to actually establish some rapport with individuals if you feel the need to. But nonetheless, please, thank you for subscribing, liking my content. I love you guys, and I appreciate your consistent response and your support. Thank you so much. Got a little jabbled up there at the end, but nonetheless, thank you guys. Love you. Have a great rest of the weekend and great holiday. Bye.